Protect Your Children Now. Protect Your Children Now. Brought to you by Protect Your Children Incorporated. This is Chris Gels. I'm the founder, director, and lead teacher of Protect Your Children Incorporated. Just want to thank you for being here. Mary Jo, welcome. How are you? She says, hello, child protectors. Gotta love that. It's awesome. That's what we are. You know, the reality is that the last couple of weeks have been a roller coaster. I mean, we've had the Sound of Freedom, a whole lot of focus on the Underground Railroad, right? And what the Operation Underground Railroad. So along with that, there's a lot of videos and YouTube shorts and everything that's been coming up on our feeds. And it is hard. I mean, the reality of human trafficking, the trafficking of our children, is hitting home. It's really hitting home now. And it's one of those things where we don't really think much about it until it's in our face. And then we're like, wow, this is really a problem. And so these last couple of shows are raising awareness on that issue, kind of doing our part wherever we can. The last live stream, I looked, it had about 850 views on it. So thankful for that. That's 850 people that learned a little bit more. And so we aim to do that tonight as well. Hopefully you can hear me okay out there. Right now we should be streaming to our Facebook business page, facebook.com/Protect Your Children Inc., our Facebook group, which is Protect All Children Now from Kidnapping and Predators. Twitter and Rumble as well. So hopefully everybody's getting the signal here, and we sound good. If you guys can hear me okay out there, let me know in the chat. I appreciate that. So what we're going to do tonight around 8:30, we're going to have a special guest, Marie. She is the one of the directors of Protect Your Children Incorporated, and we're going to be talking about this documentary called "It's Happening Right Here," and it focuses on how this human trafficking and the trafficking of our children is happening right here in America, because there is this thought that that's only something that happens on the other side of the world. It's something that only happens in these, poor countries and countries that are run by dictators, but it doesn't happen in America, right? I mean, it's America, right? We're cozy here. We got it made. Well, the reality is it does happen in America. And that documentary, It's Happening Right Here, focuses on that. Now, she has had a chance to watch the whole documentary. I have not been able to watch the whole thing. I've seen some parts of it. So we're excited to talk with her around 8:30, and she's going to let us know her thoughts on it. And I want to encourage you to watch the documentary. I believe it's on Amazon and YouTube. I think it's a few bucks. You have to rent it or buy it. You know how it is. But I encourage you to check it out, definitely. So we're going to talk to her about 8:30. By the way, if anybody's watching on a platform, everything that you post, Facebook user says, looks and sounds great. Thank you. Thank you for that. Any comment that you post on any platform that you're watching this on, I can see your comments. So go ahead and put your comments on whatever platform you're watching on. I'll get them right here, and we'll feature some of those on the live stream as well. If you want to text the show for some reason, if you're watching on a platform, you can probably just comment. But if you don't want to comment and you want to text the show, we get those too. The number is 727-349-6941, 727-349-6941, and we'll get your texts as well. So what I like to do is start off with the trailer for It's Happening Right Here. Now, let me tell you, this is a 3-minute trailer. If you haven't seen it, it's powerful. This is just the trailer. It is absolutely powerful. So I'm going to go ahead and try to share that now. And we're going to check it out. All right, let's go over here. There we go.
You want water info? I'm a federal agent and I work for Homeland Security Investigations. There was one file that was interesting to us that you had, and it's something that we've only seen 3 times before. It was a PDF document.
Which one?
It was a PDF document, and it was many, many pages, and it was talking about the ways in which to show a child love in a sexual way, but doing it safely without hurting them.
New tonight, predators targeting social media websites.
A spike in children being targeted. Human traffickers are turning to popular websites
the
to
average
do their...
age, 14, 15, 16 is the age that we're seeing.
They are using this pandemic as an avenue. They know that these kids are home, they're bored.
In the United States, people comfort themselves by saying, well, that's not me. That's just in very, very remote, poor areas. It's in every area. The only difference is it's undercover.
A lot of time we're taught that trafficking is you being thrown into a van and somebody kidnaps you and then you're never seen again, when it's actually a lot more subtle than that.
I'm not going to go stand at a corner at a mall because that's just too creepy, right? But I'm going to be online. I'm going to follow people.
I didn't think it was as dangerous as it was. Someone on the internet, how's that going to affect our children? You know, they're here with us.
It seemed like we were dating, so I was like, okay, well, I guess we're in a relationship, so this is okay.
The boyfriend pimp or the Romeo pimp, where they use manipulation and love to lure the victims in.
He decided to ask me for some inappropriate pictures. I was 12 at the time.
We've had a few of them where somebody be controlling the kids from somewhere else, and they're charging other people to watch this child. That's trafficking right there.
I started digging deeper, and these people are everywhere. They had multiple fake accounts, and they're trying to talk to my daughter through this kid that is asking for nudes.
It was scary. It was really scary to think that that happens here at home.
The reality is that kids are getting hurt. Once you see the scale of it, over 100,000 in the United States, when you understand that it's kids from all walks of life, then you feel like you have to do something about it.
That's the stick, and you can see that the officers are watching the windows. We've identified a suspect. Our goal in serving that search warrant is to get all of their electronics so we can now prove our case. Obviously, their goal is to hide all that.
Deny. No, I've never downloaded California from there. All his devices are encrypted, every single one of them.
The person's more technically savvy than a lot of the people that we deal with.
This needs to be mandatory awareness and training. I want every law enforcement community, from Butte, Montana to Miami, to have their hand in human trafficking.
The worst thing you can do is hide from this issue because it's coming at your kids whether you like it or not.
That's right.
I feel compelled to share something that nobody else knows about. I felt my kids were safe. One night at 1 o'clock in the morning, the phone rang, just half a ring. Somebody had answered. Somebody is in the house. So now I grab my gun and my dogs. I hear something and I say, announce who you are now. I feel under threat and I will shoot you. Nothing. I'm serious. Announce. I will shoot you. My son had been playing on place, had been contacted by a guy in California.
One of these creeps got into your house.
He called, and then you picked up on half a ring and said, I'll call you back. That's not normal. I think people think this is a far-off problem.
That's right. Wow. Real life examples, right? The guy at the end, his name is Glenn Beck. And anybody who's listening out there or watching, put your politics aside, okay? Because Operation Underground Railroad runs something called the Nazarene Fund. And the Nazarene Fund raises money so that Operation Underground Railroad can go on these missions, real life missions that are recorded. There's video out there of them. It's not made up like some media have tried to say. And Glenn Beck actually raised all the money to get Operation Underground Railroad going. So he's a big part of this. There was another situation, which I'll let Marie talk about in a little bit, that she heard about that had to do with his daughter. So he's had issues with both of his kids. And sometimes it takes something like that to get people involved. I'm hoping and praying it doesn't take something like that for all of you to get involved. And what do I mean by that? What I mean by that is I don't want to do this show and be an echo chamber, right? And I said this last week. We don't want just everybody who already agrees that there's a problem watching. We want people who maybe don't realize there is a problem watching and listening and becoming active, right? That's what we want. We need to raise awareness, which is what the movie has done. The movie sold over 2,600,000 tickets, I believe it is. That's mind-blowing. That is mind-blowing. Now, if everybody just sees it and goes, yeah, man, that movie was rough, man. I was bawling, and man, all right, let's go out to eat. and they do nothing, then what good has it done? Right? What good has it done? If we know, if we have the information, but we're not sharing it, we're not posting about it, we're not supporting organizations that are fighting it, then what are we really doing? We're just agreeing with each other? Great, I'm glad you agree. Child trafficking is a problem. No, we want to do something about it. We want to make a difference. Now, Glenn Beck's a nationally syndicated radio host. This happened with a couple of his kids where they were almost taken. You know, he got passionate about it. Fortunately, he had the funds, he had the means, he had the audience to help kickstart something and something great. Now, maybe you and me don't have a lot of money to do that, but we do have social media. We do have our voices. We do have our passion, right? And we can make a difference in those areas. And that's what we need people to do. Protect Your Children Incorporated. That's why we started because, and I'll let Marie share some of this later if she wants. Her daughter was almost taken by a predator. And that fueled her passion. I was very close to a case that happened back in the year 2000 with an 8-year-old boy. You've probably seen us post about it, Zachary Bernhardt. And that started fueling my passion. Happened right in the backyard, basically. So we want to protect kids from predators and kidnapping, but we're also going to expose the evil deeds of darkness. And with millions of kids, precious, innocent kids, being trafficked around this world and used as pieces of meat. There was a stat, or not a stat, but I don't know, it was a meme or something that I saw online, and it said that with drugs, you know, you sell it to somebody once, they come back in a couple days. With kids, you can sell them 10 times a day, over and over and over again. $5,000, $10,000 at a time for people to rape these poor children. And they just ship them all over the place. I mean, what do you say to that? On one side of it, it's just overwhelming, and it's like, well, man, there's nothing I can do to stop that. You know what? There is. You raise awareness. You speak up. You watch your own kids. You warn other parents. You have your kids talk to other kids and say, hey, be careful of this online. Be careful of this. Be careful of that. Be careful of somebody who acts like this. That's how it makes a difference, because it's happening right at home. And if we stop it right here within the family, then there's nobody for these scumbag predators to grab. But there's way too many people asleep at the wheel, just cruising through life. Kids are hanging out on their phones all night long, hiding out in the bathroom, playing on their game systems with total strangers, talking to them, giving out their phone numbers, their email addresses, without the parents ever having a clue. And each one of those kids is in danger. So yeah, parental involvement is key to this. We heard in that trailer, these predators make multiple profiles. Listen, on these social media apps, you can have 20 different fake profiles. And the technology company doesn't stop it. You could be 20 different people. You could be a kid. You could be an adult. You could be a boy. You could be a girl. You could be whatever you want. And that's a problem. And parents need to look out for that. You might say, oh, no, I'm on my child's TikTok. There's nothing crazy on there. Yeah. Did you happen to look? Maybe they have a second TikTok account that you're not on, parent? The one that they're messaging people on that you don't know? It happens. Harry Joe says, our Facebook user, parents need to watch out as actively for the kids as predators are actively hunting their children. Wow. Yes, parents need to watch out as actively for the kids as predators are actively hunting their children. That is powerful. Mary Jo, most of all, love your children the right way so they aren't out there looking for the wrong kind of love. That's another great point. I'm going to throw some stats up on the bottom of the screen here. The other thing that was in that trailer was Glenn was saying, I thought we were safe. They're right here. And the other parent was saying the same thing. They're home. Who's going to get them when they're in my house? I mean, hey, got dogs, got guns. Yeah, we're safe over here. No big deal. Yeah, they're coming at your kids through here. What are you going to do about that? It's a huge problem, and it is happening here in America. And we got to speak up and speak loud about it and make a difference. I'm asking everybody who's watching to share the live stream, do a quick post on your social media, say, hey, come join this. A little bit later, as I said, Maria will be calling in about 8:30 or so. But before we do that, I want to watch with you another clip from the documentary. It's called Haley's Story. It's from It's Happening Right Here documentary. It's on YouTube and Amazon. Probably can find it other places as well. But Haley's story, man, it'll wake you up. This is how real it is, folks. This is how real it is.
Me and my sister received a tablet, both of us, for Christmas one year. And I had met someone through one of my friends on Instagram. And we began talking, just like casual conversations for a while. And he decided to ask me for some inappropriate pictures, which I was 12 at the time, so I didn't really understand that aspect of it, but I ended up sending him some pictures.
The way my daughter Haley was acting was the first clue that something was up. She got quiet. She was more secretive. We caught her up late all the time. We kind of had a no tablet in your room rule, and she would sneak it, or we would find it in the morning in her room, or we would find her on her sister's because we grounded her from hers. I mean, there was definitely like she needed to have her tablet, and that was just kind of odd.
My dad was like, okay, something's definitely off, and he would go through my tablet on a regular basis, but I was being so secretive to the point that I would delete messages that were on there so he couldn't tell what we were talking about, and then didn't realize that pictures get backed up to like an SD card on your tablet once you delete them out of a conversation. So he found it that way.
Way to go, Dad.
Haley had expressed to her sister that she had this boyfriend named Bruce, and her younger sister came to us and said, hey, Haley has a boyfriend, his name is Bruce. And that's where I think it all started.
Yeah.
Like, wait a minute, she's 12.
That's right.
She has a boyfriend? Who is this Bruce?
My instant reaction to that was Bruce. I was like, no one names their children Bruce these days. So I was like, is Bruce a man? So that's when I started digging deeper, and it just carried on. There were certain individuals following Bruce with fake accounts. They had fake screenshotted pictures for their profile picture, and you could just tell they were fake. I mean, they just looked wrong. And all the pictures on their page were like screenshotted furniture. So then I would go to the next guy, and he had almost the exact same layout pictures, but a different name, different face. So I'm like, how does this person know this person? And why are they sending my daughter messages? I know, how are you? Do you want to talk? I copy and pasted their email address and started looking in Google, trying to figure out who these people were. I emailed them. I didn't get any response, of course. Actually, 2 of them, I got the mailer errors saying that the account was closed. And so that's when I was like, okay, this is really suspicious. These people are multiple fake accounts, and they're trying to talk to my daughter through this kid that is asking for nudes. And that's when we decided to maybe take it to the police, because it got a little out of our hands. We could only do so much.
Wow. Is it that easy? Yeah, it's that easy. And something that was said earlier, and parents, we know it's tough. It's hard, right? I mean, people always say you got to communicate with your kids. You got to love your kids. You got to give your kids the right kind of attention so that when some stranger starts throwing love words at them and compliments and trying to bribe them and tell them how much they love them and how beautiful they are and how handsome they are, that they're not going to eat that up. They're going to go, yeah, this is weird. I already know that I'm beautiful. I already know that I'm handsome. I don't need to hear it from some stranger. So that is part of it. Part of it is the kids opening their door of their life, which, by the way, is this. You know? So, hold on, just receiving a text here. That's from Marie. Let's see. She says she's feeling a little under the weather, but she's going to still try to call and do sound only. So we'll take that. But listen, the window of these kids' lives is right there. It's this device. You know, it's the game system. It's the computer, the tablet. The girl said, hey, her and her sister had received tablets for Christmas. They were so excited. And wow, it didn't take long before she was chatting up with somebody. And remember, it's not always like, hey, I'm 45 years old and you're 12. Cool. You want to hang out? Like, it's usually not like that. These predators are tricky. They're slick. They're smooth. And as we saw in the previous trailer for It's Happening Right Here, the documentary, as the police was saying, was that what these traffickers do is they already have other kids. And then they use those kids to contact kids, right, to get them pulled in. That's twisted. Think about that. So your kid can be contacted by another kid thinking it's absolutely safe. I'm just talking to another kid. What do they know about that kid? Oh, they say they're in the Philippines. Are they really? They say we have a lot in common. Do you really? Yeah, but he likes me or she likes me. And do they really? So you just don't know. You just don't know. And that's the problem. You just don't know who you're talking to on there. Now, what does it take? It takes parents being nosy. It takes parents being vigilant. We posted a story earlier this week. We posted a bunch of stories. Check back on our feed, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and you'll see the shorts that we did. And unbelievable, right? We had a middle school principal, right, contacting this young girl. You know, he was ready to bring her, bring her McDonald's, right? And he's just going to hang out with her. But she had been talking to him for over a week. How? But see, nobody was watching. A few days before that, we had a guy who was, 39 years old. He was going to meet up with this young girl for sex. He had brought all her favorite things because she said she liked Harry Potter. So he brought Harry Potter books. And she loves blueberry muffins. So he brought blueberry muffins. And she really wanted an extra $20. So he brought her a $20 bill. He was all showing up the house with all that stuff. And what was he going to expect in return? Think about it. Right? Now he got caught. And now he's going to sit in prison for a while. But this girl was talking to this guy for quite a while. And there is no reason why kids should be talking to predators, talking to strangers for weeks on end, and parents not knowing about it. Unless they're not checking their phones. They're not being diligent enough. They believe the false security. Everything's fine. It's just their phone. They're not that dumb. They're not going to do anything stupid. We would hope not. But kids are. And this is the way it is. And the stats of human trafficking, especially of kids, they said since 2020, since COVID started, has skyrocketed. It's gone through the roof. because these predators knew that what were these kids going to do? They were told they couldn't go outside. They knew they couldn't go to school. They couldn't go to their friend's house. They couldn't go anywhere. So what did they do? They retreated into their devices. And millions of more kids were spending millions and millions of hours online over years. And the predators were just salivating. And how many kids got trapped during that time? We talked about sextortion last week. If you missed that live stream, please check it out. It's on our Facebook. It's on our YouTube. Sextortion. All it takes is one photo, one video, a child to say the one wrong thing that can get them in trouble with their parents. And the next thing you know, they're trapped. And that's what these predators do. And you can't just assume that your child's not going to have an issue with it. Maybe they won't. Hopefully they won't. But as old Ronald Reagan used to say about Russia, trust but verify, right? Sure, you're taking down your nuclear weapons. I believe you. Better check it out. Trust but verify. You got to trust but verify. Mary Jo said, you know these degenerates know other degenerates. It's sickening. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. They all fly together. Thank goodness the dad wasn't afraid to check things. Absolutely right. And a lot of times that's the difference that it makes. It's the parent. Like in the story earlier this week with the Harry Potter and all that, the girl had gotten new Harry Potter Legos. And the parent was like, hey, where'd you get these Legos? And the girl, teenager, gave her some story and some explanation. And the mom was like, that doesn't seem right. Wait, really? Give me your phone. No, I don't want it. Give me your phone. You don't need to look through my phone. You don't trust me. Give me your phone. What's the password? I'm not giving you give me the password. You ain't getting the phone back. Mom goes in the phone, finds out she's talking to this 39-year-old guy, and that he's coming to her freaking house. And it's all explicit and inappropriate, talking to him for weeks. And he was buying her stuff. Way to go, Mom. And way to go, Dad. But this is what it takes. And like I said, you don't have to wrap your kids in bubble wrap, and keep them all tucked away in the corner. No, you just teach them. You educate them. And then you be aware. Is it annoying? Sure, it's annoying. You almost have to be in this point every day where like, all right, I'm going to get up, I'm going to get my coffee. And for me, it's Dunkin' Donuts. And I'm going to go to work and then I'm going to come home and I'll check my kid's phone. Like it becomes second nature. You just have to do this. You just walk around with this mentality of the world is getting to be a sick place. It is a sick place. And there's predators lurking on social media and on the game systems and in the communities, in your neighborhood, at the schools. Remember, middle school principal just got arrested trying to meet up with a teenager. A middle school principal? A couple months back, chief of police was arrested for fooling around with a minor. The chief of a police department? This is way beyond the creepy guy down the road, the creepy person down the road. Way beyond that. This could be anywhere. So you teach your kids. I always say, and it's not a selfless promotion here, but have your kids watch these live streams with you. Afterwards, it's podcasted. Have them go back and watch this. Sit down and watch it with them. This is how they learn. Any kid that thinks that this isn't going to happen, that they're too good for it, and they're too smart to let this happen, they need to see and hear the story. They need to hear Haley's story that we just watched and how that happened. Because it does happen a lot. What do we got? Even the smartest of us did something dumb at least once. True? Yes. No, absolutely true. Absolutely true. We all have made mistakes. And especially as kids, think about it. As kids, we knew right and wrong, didn't we? We knew what was right. We knew what our parents said not to do. We knew. But did we always listen? No, we didn't always listen. And we made some mistakes. You know, and the problem is that the mistakes today have consequences far more worse than the consequences we had back in the day. Far more worse. These kids today, they send one photo, one video, say one thing that can incriminate them with law enforcement or their parents, and the next thing you know, they could be a victim of sextortion. Just like that. Facebook user says, not always just adults either. Sometimes it's other kids. Had a mom head off bullying by checking her teenage son's phone. Yes, absolutely. And that's the other benefit of it. While you're watching your kids' phones and you're being nosy and you're kind of looking for stuff that might put them in danger, you might uncover other things. Maybe they're suicidal. You didn't know it. Maybe they're using drugs. You didn't know it. Maybe someone's bullying them and you didn't know it. So there's lots of reasons for parents to be totally involved and randomly check phones and have good communication with your kids. You know, that's huge. Not just, how was your day? Good? All right, cool. Bye. Going in to watch TV now. Man, find out how they're feeling. Give a crap. Let them know that they're loved, they're cared about, and that you're there for them no matter what happens. They need to know this. They need to know this. Our guest, Marie, says she is trying to click in. Don't know what that means. Perhaps it's not working. But she's coming on to talk about the documentary It's Happening Here, which we watched the trailer for. And that's available on Amazon and YouTube. And it's very, very powerful. So while we're waiting for her, I want to show you a page from our website. This is our website here, protectyourchildren.org. I'm going to get myself out of there for a minute. On this page, this is how to protect your children online. These are some of the most common tricks used by online predators. Okay. We've got lots of different things. Microphone voice changes. We talked a little bit about this last time. Predators will be playing popular games just like the kids do. They'll tell the kids how good they are. They'll compliment them. They'll even offer them help to get better at the game so that they can get more popular with the people they're playing with. They'll use all the smooth talk and flattery. We had a situation with a kid. He told us that an online predator used a gaming platform, and the username was actually a phone number, and it said call this number. That was in their profile name. And you know, kids, they're gonna be like, call it. Let's just check it out. Let's see who answers. And this like 9-year-old kid called the number with a cell phone, which means now the predator on the other end has the phone number of the kid, which now means the predator can quickly go online and for like a couple of bucks, put that number in and find out the address of the parents that the number is tied to. Now he knows where the kid lives. It was just like that. So don't prey on the kid's curiosity. And a predator will gain the trust of a child by not asking for or talking about anything sexual at first. Oh yeah, they come out all, remember last week's? Hi, how you doing? How's your parents? What do they do? How's school? You know, that little light, fluffy talk. And then they just jump right into it. Then there's lies about kids who get trapped. Talks about sextortion. Some proactive ways to keep your kids safe online. What to do if your kids are solicited online for sexual conversation or images. And all that. So it's all on our website, protectyourchildren.org, protectyourchildren.org. Let's see. All right, so Marie's having a hard time getting in. You know how technology is. We may have to hold that off until next show. So what we want to do now is I want to ask how many of you listening and watching right now actually saw The Sound of Freedom. If you did, please let me know in the comments. Did you go see The Sound of Freedom? If you did, what were your thoughts on it? Has it spurred you to want to make a difference? Has it made you more passionate? Have you not got to see it yet? You know? She said, it's not letting me in. I don't know why. Let's see. Oh, the technology. Let me see. Now you know how technology is. It's not working. Sorry about that. Mary Jo says she's going to go see the movie. You know, we sit back and we think about this and go, we started our organization with the goal of protecting kids from predators and kidnapping, not really focused on the human trafficking angle of all this. And when you realize that it's all tied together, we realize that our mission is vitally more important than we initially thought it was. You know, we started out with our own money. We didn't have any seed money. This guy started out by a few people that had a passion to protect kids. And a lot of money was put down to get incorporated, to get not-for-profit status, to get the website built, all that stuff, and get up and rolling. And we've had some great success with reaching people, especially online. And it's like, you get excited because you're like, man, our videos have been viewed 600,000 times on Facebook, between Facebook and YouTube. And it's like, wow, that's incredible, right? And then you kind of get a reality check with all this trafficking stuff because you're like, are we doing enough? Do we need to make more videos, more podcasts, more shows, more events? Do we need to do more? And I'm saying, yes, we need to do more. A lot more. And that's where everybody else out there comes in. Because, you know, and I listen, I can tell you that I cannot stand every angle of selling out there. People always trying to sell you something, right? You listen to a radio station and they got a book to sell. You go over here, they got a CD to sell or a download to sell. And it seems like people are always looking for money. I got it. And it's hard, you know, and we don't know who to trust. Where's that money really going? Is it making a difference? And to me, I will donate to places where I can see that the money's making a difference. Operation Underground Railroad, there are actual, you go to their Facebook or their Instagram or their Twitter, and I'll tell you, you will see actual video footage of these raids where they go and they grab these scumbag predators and they rescue these children. And you know that the money you're giving to them is going to good work. The founder of that organization is not living in a mansion somewhere driving around a Maserati. No, they're out there protecting kids. Right? And Protect Your Children Incorporated is out here protecting kids. We're making a difference. Even if it's a small one, we're making a difference. It shouldn't. She's trying to get in, but I don't know. It's weird. Whenever you invite a guest on this platform, it doesn't usually require a password, but it's asking her for a password. So, oh my goodness. Mary Joseph, what can we do to help your organization besides sharing and awareness? You know, the thing is, passion's important, right? Passion's important. And we need donations. And I know that's like the ew word, you know. The reality is that the one benefactor that was the beneficiary, the person that was really paying to get this all up and running is not in a position to do so anymore. And I work a full-time job outside of here. The other director has gotten really sick, so she's not able to help anymore. So the reality is we don't have any funds. We are very limited. Anything that we do now, and this platform costs money. This live stream costs money. The pamphlets we send out cost money. We went out to the 4th of July parade over the 4th of July. We handed out 150 pamphlets and brochures and big bags of candy to all the kids and the parade watchers along the parade route. Yeah, that was a $250 expense right there that came out of one of our pockets. And when I say to you that we've had one donation in the last year, it's like 40 or 50 bucks. That's it. So the reality is that we want to get these live streams out to more people. We want to promote them ahead of time so we can get hundreds watching, not just 3 or 4. We want to be able to take the podcast and promote it on social media so it reaches thousands of people. May I remind you who have been with us for a while, we used to reach thousands of people on posts and videos when we had money to do so. We do not have the money now. People are not stepping up and helping out. They're just not. And it's tight for some people, but there's some people that can't afford to help out. And so we're asking people to make a tax-deductible donation, which can be done through our website. And you will see that that money is not going in my pocket. It's not going in the other directors' pockets. No, it's going to go right out there to promote content like this so that more people are aware, so that more people can become passionate, and we can save more kids. That's what it's about. In addition to that, sharing the website, sharing the Facebook, talking to your friends about it. Say, hey, there's a great live show that's on every Wednesday at 8 p.m. If you can make it, I think you should watch it. Grab your kids. Just talk about it. Talk about it with people. Conversations can start in the strangest of ways. So we need people to donate. We need people to share the website. We need people to share on social media. And it's really still mind-blowing that with everything that's going on with the Sound of Freedom and all this stuff all over social media, it didn't make a difference. Yeah, Marie's still trying to get in. That's crazy. The reality is that we need to reach more people that are not in the echo chamber, right? And we talked about that, the echo chamber. Most of the people that are watching right now are very well aware that there is a problem, and they're probably looking at their kids' phones. They're being nosy. You guys are doing what you need to do as a parent. Keep an eye on your children. What we want to do is reach the people that aren't, okay? And so that's where promoting stuff on social media. So we don't just promote it to people who protect their children. No, it gets promoted out to thousands and thousands of people all across the spectrum. Just shows up on their Instagram, shows up on their Facebook, and all of a sudden they're like, what is this? And they click on it, and now they're more educated and their kids are protected. So we want to reach the millions of people out there that are not aware of how big this problem is. That's part of awareness, and we need your help to do that. And the other thing is, like I said, there's 4.9 almost 5,000 page followers and likes on our Facebook business page. And I said this last time. It's unbelievable that 4 or 5 people interact on that page. 4 or 5 out of 5,000. Think about that for a minute. What is up with that? Now, that could mean there's just likers and followers that just aren't really engaged at all. Or it could mean that nobody's seeing our content, but 4 or 5 people, maybe 10 at the most, which is a possibility, in Facebook. And just the way that the feeds run, if you get a Protect Your Children post in your news feed, but you've got 3,000 friends, you're going to see all theirs too. So you might not even see what we post. But again, that's where promoting it, paying to promote it, gets it in front of people no matter what. Right? But we don't have any interaction. And what do? as people who care about children, as people like Mary Jo and others that see what's going on, that maybe unfortunately had an experience in their life, know how bad it is. I'll tell you, a little passion can go a long way. A little passion can go a long way. A little passion can produce a podcast or a video or a live stream that reaches tons. Just a little passion. Finances help with that, of course, because that's the way the world works. But if you get passionate and you want to make a difference, you want to protect kids, then we have to get the word out. We have to get the word out of all the tracks, the traps, the tricks, and the threats. We got to get that out. And you guys can help to do that. Okay. Strange. Oh, man. So it's happening right here. Check out the documentary. It's on YouTube. It's on Amazon. I think it's a few bucks to see it. I'm not sure if you can find it free in other places, but based upon what we've seen, it's very powerful. It's very emotional. And, you know, there's two responses that come with all this. The one response is, and I've heard people say this over and over again, I'm not going to go watch The Sound of Freedom. My stomach can't handle it. My stomach can't handle it. There's no way I could watch that. And we mentioned this last week, but yeah, no problem though. You can go watch someone, you know, cut their arm off in a movie, and that's okay. That doesn't turn your stomach. Why, you know, watch your kids play violent games where they're blowing each other apart on these games. That's not a problem, right? I mean, you know, that's no problem. But watching kids get in traffic, I don't know why I can't learn about that. But the reason why is because they kind of superimpose their kids' faces on these kids, and they're like, that's scary. That's too scary for me to watch, too scary for me to think about. And it is. It is scary. But here, people respond in two ways. They run, duck, and cover from it. Or they say, you know what? That scared the crap out of me. I'm going to be more protective. I'm going to raise more awareness. I'm going to teach my kids. Maybe I'm going to start checking that phone like I should have been doing all along. I'm going to talk to them about how dangerous it is. I'm going to teach them the tricks and the threats and the traps. Maybe that's what comes out of it. And then these traffickers got less kids to choose from because the kids aren't falling for it. Remember, it's not the creepy guy in the white van down the road that's kidnapping all the kids. Very small percentage of kids are kidnapped and trafficked by someone that they never knew at all. The large majority already knew the person somehow, some way. And that's uncomfortable too. You mean I got to look all around me? Yeah. Why do you have to look all around you? Because it's happening right here in America. And again, we're not a political show. We are about protecting kids. But the southern border has to be fixed. The stats were that, excuse me, somewhere around, 200,000 kids came across the southern border just since COVID. 200,000 minors across that border. And sorry about that. Responding to text. They're coming across the border, and according to Department of Homeland Security and DCF, and well, we've lost track of 85,000 kids. This is what they say: 85,000 kids. They don't know where they went. They came across the border, and we don't know where they went. You lost 85,000 children? I'll give you one guess where they're at. All over the freaking place. In the hands of predators. So, I mean, there's practical steps that can be taken from the government to technology companies to just you and me that can help protect these kids. And I'll tell you, I wouldn't be able to sleep at night if I wasn't doing something. And that's how we should all feel. That's how we should all feel. Maria's asking, how do I call in? I think it's not set up to work. So we're going to plan to have Maria on next week. We'll postpone. I'm sure this story is still going to be all in the news since we got about 6 minutes left in the show. But we want to get outraged. We want to get vigilant. You know, and sometimes it's just scrolling the news feeds. You know, that's a lot of times what we do. You know, we'll just be watching the news feeds and people, you know, you come across stories and we share it. I mean, that's not hard, right? We have people send us stuff. We have people post things to our page, which we have to approve. And by the way, apologize for that. Sometimes we're a little slow on getting stuff approved. But they'll post stories, great awareness, stuff that happens, and it's like stuff that we didn't even know about. And that's what we need, more eyes, more people posting in the Facebook group. Man, we have tried over and over again to get the followers and the likers from the business page over to the group. They're not coming. They're just not coming. We've been trying for weeks. Group has 370 in it. There's 5,000 on the business page. There's a disconnect. But imagine for a moment, just imagine, out of that 370 in the group, just say 50 of those people. Just say 50. We're actively looking for awareness stories, looking for things that were happening, and they were just kind of, and then they were posting it, sending it, posting it, sharing it. I mean, we'd blow up. There'd be so much content, we wouldn't know what to do with it all. And that's what we want. When people are flooded with information that they can't avoid, right? That's what the Sound of Freedom did. It got it in front of millions of eyes that otherwise would have never seen how bad the situation was. Yes, of course you can. But that's the problem, is that there's a lot of people that don't realize how bad it is. And then there are people that know that it's bad and don't want to do anything about it. Now, maybe, just maybe, when they see documentaries like It's Happening Right Here, or see The Sound of Freedom, or some of the live raids from Operation Underground Railroad's website or Twitter or Facebook or Instagram, and they actually see when they go and rescue these kids, it breaks your heart. But you're happy though, right? Because they're rescuing these kids. And it's got to feel amazing to do that. And you know, when we hear from a parent and we hear feedback from people that say, hey, thanks for posting this, I had no idea. That makes us feel good because we know that we're saving the most innocent and precious of our nation, and that's our children. That we're just, maybe it's just a little bit that we're doing, but we're doing it. You know, and maybe a post that you share, maybe a link to our website, something you share that with somebody and they click it and they realize there's a trap or a trick, and then they talk to their kid and their kid goes, I just experienced that and caught it just in time, just from sharing one link. The ripple effect that what you out there can do can reach further than you can ever even know. It can. And that's what we're saying. Get activated, man. Get involved. That's what we're asking. Now, right now, we've got 3 people watching the live stream. Part of that is we didn't promote this ahead of time. We really only put it on Facebook and social media today. And it also could be the time. Could be the day of the week. We don't know. But starting next week, 8 p.m., we'll be here Lord willing. We're going to have a Facebook event created. It's going to be promoted, so it's going to reach thousands of people, and we're going to see how the turnout is next week. We're hoping it's going to be more. Because why? We want to feel famous. No, it has nothing to do with that. No, because the more people that are watching, the more kids are being protected. That's what we want. So just know that we're here, Lord willing, every Wednesday, 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. on all of our platforms. And what we got here? It says, I bring your group all the time with people in groups. Thank you. Thank you. And that's what it's about. It's just making the difference. You know, we've had only about 10,000 hits on our website in 3 years, which is really mind-blowing when you think about it. Because the views on our YouTube, the views on Facebook and Twitter and other places are hundreds of thousands when you combine them all together. And each one of those videos has something in there about going to the website. Download the free protection guidelines right there on your phone. Go over it with your kids. That's how they can be safe. Listen to the podcasts. Let your kids listen to Talking with Topher, the animated character who teaches kids how to be safe from predators. Look at the stats. There's so much great information on our site. But again, getting someone to go from here to actually go to a website, it's a very hard thing. So we try to post as much as we can on social media so that it's right in front of people. But the sooner parents start realizing that the danger's right, it's all around. Now, again, it's not so bad where your kid can't go outside and play, right? And that's the other side of it. Some people get to that extreme where they're like, oh man, it's just so bad, forget it. You're never going to your friend's house, you're never going outside, and you're in 7 p.m. every night. Okay, probably don't have to go that crazy. But what it means is you keep tabs. You know the phone numbers and the addresses of where your kids are going. You know the routes of how your kids are going to get there if they're jumping on their bike. You keep tabs on them when they're gone all day. You browse through their phone. You keep an eye on their gaming. You listen to their gaming conversations on the mic, maybe from outside the door. You kind of just keep aware. Stay involved. Keep them safe. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Marie posted this. Predators can go online and print out a PDF on how to groom your children, calling it child love. Yeah, we saw that at the beginning of the trailer. Is that sick? But that's how bad it is. But here's the thing. We know how they groom the kids. We know how they do it. It's not like it hasn't been discovered. And the information on how they do it, it's on our website. It's all over our social media. It's everywhere. And a lot of organizations have that out there too. So they can try to do whatever they want. But the reality is, if we're teaching the kids how they're going to try to do it, how the predator's going to try to do it, then the kids aren't going to fall for it, and the kids will be protected. So we take the information. We know what they're doing out there. And we teach the kids not to fall for it. We teach them the traps and the tricks so they can be protected. But you got to think about this. There's good and evil, right? We're about to wrap up here. There's good and evil. On the good side of stuff, when something great happens, we want to tell everybody about it. And our friends are like, yeah, I saw that. That was awesome. That was incredible. If your sports team wins, you call up your friend. You're like, hey, man, did you see the game last night? Oh, it was awesome. Yeah. So just as we have good things in common that we want to share with each other, these evil scumbags got evil things in common. And there's always someone to share that with too. So these predators are going to communicate behind the scenes, and they're going to share their little tricks and their traps on how they can get somebody, and how they're going to use other kids to get kids, and how they're going to, get money to give to this one, and how they're going to, oh, this is what I'm working on with this one girl right here. She seems to be really lonely. So what I'm doing is working the dad angle with her, and she seems to be falling for it. Oh, great. I'll have to try that with the other kid that I'm talking to. Of course they're going to do that. But we already know the tricks. We know the traps. We know the threats. And if we teach our kids that, and if we blast that all over everywhere we possibly can, then they're not going to fall for it. And the predator's got nobody to get. And that's the goal. And that's what we have to do. So again, apologize. Marie couldn't join us tonight. We're going to figure out what's going on with that, and hopefully she'll be able to join us next Wednesday, 8 p.m., God willing. Until then, please consider donating to help us out. It's tax deductible. The information has been going across the screen there. You get a receipt. You can see what it's going to. Live streaming is not free. And well, unless you have like 5,000 subscribers, which we don't on YouTube. So we pay for all of this. We want to protect kids, and you can help us to do that. Even just sharing our website, sharing the information, sharing this live stream 2 or 3 different times, get the views up. More kids will be protected. We ask you to do that. And we're going to keep up the fight. We're not going to quit. We're not going to stop. We'll keep going as long as God allows us to keep going. Because our kids are the precious ones of this earth. They are innocent. They're trying to navigate life. They're trying to just learn how to get through a changing culture. And they get lost. And they get upset. And they get sad. And they get depressed. And parents, if they can't come to you, they're going to go to a predator. And that can trap them and change your lives forever. So make sure you talk with your children. Let them know that they can talk to you, that you won't judge them. They're not going to be grounded for life if they made a mistake. Because the goal is to keep them safe. Right? Isn't that what's most important? Keeping them safe. So until next week, we'll see you on social media. Check us out, YouTube, Facebook group, Twitter, Instagram, Rumble. We're on all these platforms. Please like and share this live stream. So thank everybody for being here. And until next week, stay safe and keep protected. Thank you.